Morning, everybody. Ace of Trades here for Thursday, March 19th. The Bible says in the book of Ephesians, chapter 3, Paul the Apostle writing, "Unto me, who am less than the least of all saints, is this grace given, that I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Christ, and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world hath been hid in God, who created all things by Jesus Christ." So the world has a creator, and that creator, as it also tells us other places, is Jesus. All right, on the chart today, um, you kind of put the overnight here high here. It's very obvious. Overnight low, I put here because this looks about the best place where you have some sort of support forming overnight, even though we punched down through here. Originally, you would have, this trend drawn here, break, push down to a new low. And although you have a new low in place, you've got two very clean legs here rejecting the EMA. And so you're probably going to get more downward momentum here. This is one of the rare times when I would continue shorting after something like this has played out because, it's played out. We know that after trends get a break and a new low. And then you also have this level you might expect prices to fade, but when you get two very clean legs off a very sharp move down, it's very likely that you're going to keep pushing down. Now this bar is very big. It's probably about 8 points. So when you take a trade like that, uh, I consider how big the bar is, and I probably would size down, size down here and just go for more points. Um, Rather than take my full usual size, and go for less points because you're kind of trying to turn a basically an 8-point stop into a 4-point stop by sizing down, and then you're trying to capture the same amount of points by doubling. So you maybe go, instead of me going for 2 points here, probably try to go for 4. And I'm not sure how quickly that printed there, 840, 843. So at this time, it's before the open, so it's probably, reasonable. It's not moving too fast, so you could probably make some adjustments there. And then you see after that, when you don't get the reversal here and you keep pushing down, then maybe you can start looking for another larger trend, which we can identify here. It looks like it fits pretty well, except for this poke through. And then we get that makes a break, two legs down to a new low. And you could maybe put this in as, you might consider this as also one leg. I mean, you can clearly see 1, 2. So at that point, this trend is played out. So taking, now you might see it make another leg down, but after you get this to a new low, super dangerous then to be trying any more shorts. I mean, you can see stuff, like this here works, but you could easily get trapped there. You can see it tries to push down again. And I think, maybe because of the downward momentum that you have here, that it works a little bit further, but really prices will want to try to reverse here after you get that, and you can see it. Now this is a pretty weak reversal. See how choppy it is? It's not strong at all. You're not getting strong momentum like that. Strong legs down, you're just getting a bunch of chop. So this could very well like peter out at some point here and just start heading back down. And so if you get that, we kind of have, you can see there's kind of one leg up here. Yeah, and now you get a second leg up right there. Maybe there's something you want to draw there just in case it continues going. You could, okay, maybe we're getting a trend there that looks dubious to me, but maybe you are. I mean, it's kind of fitting both sides, but it's very ugly looking. So this may stall out because this appears very weak to me on the reversal. So, if we start heading back down here real strong again, then you can start looking for, it's basically you're getting the market resetting and continue to go lower. So at that point, you could start looking for shorts again. So I wouldn't be looking for longs right now just because this is so kind of weak looking. Um, maybe this is going to try to come up here and test this level again and then head down, or, it might just, you might just be getting one leg, two legs here, and this could, go sideways and then just fail. But that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'll be back again when there's more to talk about. Okay, so we got two legs up here. If I'm looking at this here, even if this would have given you like some sort of like two-legged correction, I doubt I'd take it because I don't, at that time, I don't really perceive that as a trend. Looking for a retest, it's very choppy. It's not clean. But you do end up getting this second leg up, and right there you hit the measured move. Again, once you get two legs up, I'm not looking for a long here, quote unquote, confirming the trend line because those are, to me, that's not high probability. It happens once in a while where you'll get a trend forming wider off two legs, but it's not very often. And so to try to take a long here confirming a wider trend line is a trap more often than not. So unless you are taking that with, a much greater risk reward sort of thing, even though you don't even get a setup here, but let's say it did, you would need to be taking much greater risk reward with that because it's going to fail on you more often than it's going to confirm a wider channel. So I just avoid them. There's too many other trades to take rather than thinking you're smart finding a wider channel. I've given up trying to think that I'm smart and just looking for things I can be kind of certain about. All right, so we got this. Now we got this kind of, even if you consider this a wider channel, you got a break, new high, and now you get a much stronger push down here. So this looks like this is going to make some attempt to reverse. Now how far it goes, who knows? But this is the point now where you would be starting to look for shorts and be done looking for long. I mean, I really wasn't looking for a long the entire way up here just because of how ugly it was. And, this didn't look like a channel. Then once you get two legs up, I'm definitely done looking for longs. Unless for some reason this would form a wider channel and start pushing up very clearly, kind of like we did here. So, but you have to be doubly aware that you're into, this former support, which prices obviously struggled at, and now it's trying to push lower. So, um, yeah, so I'd be looking for a short now. It's kind of ugly though. You got the leg down, you got a small break, new low. So maybe we'll end up getting something, wider forming, not necessarily two legs forming a wider channel, but maybe this just kind of works itself out and continues pushing down and we can draw a better channel off that. So that's where we're at right now. All right, so we ended up, after we get this push down here, we got like a second leg. I felt this was thin enough that I could draw a channel here. And so if we would have got two clean legs, I'd have been okay with taking a short there. Turns out, I think that this was just two legs, and then we got this first leg up. We didn't really get any kind of clean correction to get in on it. We just, had this one leg came down. This came down to about the 38.2, 68.2 retracement. What is it? Sorry, 61.8. And then we just kind of chop sideways here, which you'll get chopped to pieces trying to take any long or short. There may be somebody who, when that printed there, they thought they were going to get a short, or something. You have to always be careful. This does not have a new high, so there could be some goofy way that this proceeds to try to make a new high here. And so, if somebody took a short there, they got trapped. You'll just get, and then this gets very sideways. And then we finally push up here and make a new high for this trend. Had you got a clean lower high here, I'd been okay with taking that. If you have room to the EMA, you don't get one. Then we try to push up again, and now we're pushing down. So this to me finally looks played out. That's what's um, sometimes difficult about these when you get this bigger price action is it doesn't always just go boom, 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 boom and play out. Like this downtrend, break, new low. So you had this uptrend, break, chop sideways for a while, and then make a new high. And now I think you're finally starting to reverse down off of uh, this play out. Um, so hopefully you get something clean. This is already starting to look like it's ugly. Got this bar, and now we're chopping sideways slowly. So hopefully this just keeps pushing down and we get something nice and easy to trade. Um, yeah, right now I don't think I've seen anything I particularly like. Nothing's really set up. So other than this right here, early in the morning, I don't really see anything that I care for, no matter how many arrows somebody puts on their chart. There's nothing in here that I'd be excited to try to take. So, okay, so we get this push down and just start going sideways here, which is not ideal. So I'm really not looking for anything right now. It's just not, you don't want to try to, figure out a couple legs in this congestion. I did want to come back here because I was looking over the chart. I wanted to come back here. You see this higher low here, and I often talk about these two legs down, and now you have a higher low. Um, and normally, I probably would like that because you got 4 points here to the EMA, but I'm probably going to consider you got one, two, or sorry, two, four, six. That's an 8 point risk there. And I definitely wouldn't be pushing it past like 2 points. I mean, if it doesn't, if this doesn't come up really fast, the EMA is going to creep down into your target area. So I I probably would pass on that just because of the size of the bar relative to the room. Um, but otherwise, visually, it looks pretty good to capture a couple points. Um, but yeah, this higher low got turned into a very big bar, and you can see it does uh, mess around there for a little bit. It does eventually work, but you can see how the EMA starts creeping down lower and lower as these bars push sideways. So anyway, I just thought I wanted to talk about that, and I kind of overlooked it, I think, when I first started the video. Uh, but yeah, that's there. Given the size of the risk there, I probably would lay off, and that's just how bars were this morning. Um, so this is just ugly. There's nothing here that I'm interested in. All right, we got two legs of correction here, but I'm just not gonna take that because of this. If you see this as a move, this has a break and a new low already. You can see this would have worked, but this is downward break, new low. So I'm not excited about taking something like that. This there doesn't even look like um, the wider channel here doesn't even like really fit very well. We just do this and this. It looks really weird. Have that as a wider channel. So you do have there's two legs there. You might say it's kind of like a repeat pattern for um, this guy back here, but it's a little bit um, what should I say? Trying to how to explain it. This isn't as rigid as this one. I would just say that's aggressive there to take that. It looks definitely like one leg, two legs, and this is strongly rejecting. But I wish it had just come off a nice clean trend, you know, then I like it. So I'm going to say that that's an aggressive trade there. But I passed that one up there. The way things been going, you might not see anything all the rest of the day, but I just don't care for that after the way this whole thing printed here. I would rather just come off of something cleaner. So, all right. So I think we were I think we were coming down here. Ended up not getting anything good. We got these two legs up, then back into what you might call the overnight low area, and so now we're pushing back off. Um, Now I had stepped away for a while. So if you had gotten two legs back here and it's set up nice, that's a place where you look to go short after you get this big leg down. And now you got the second leg down. So after you get the second leg down, always dangerous then to start looking for, or not start, but to continue looking for shorts, because this is technically played out. And even though you haven't made a measured move, you've it's there's a chance prices want to reverse now. So there is a downward. We're kind of just after we dumped here, we kind of are in this range. Nothing consistent across the tops or bottoms. It's just kind of like structures are playing out in both directions and then going back up. But it does seem like there's a downward kind of tilt to it. Um, but you're basically been sideways here since this downtrend made a new low. Pop up, down, up, back down. So that's where we're at. Just keep following the price action and hopefully you get a setup. Um, so okay, so we get the push up we're looking for, but we don't get any setup here. We get one leg pushes up and do like a double top, and you don't get the correction here, and it just kind of pushes up again. So we'll see if this kind of does something here, and maybe prices have been moving in legs, even whether they're clear or ugly. So maybe we'll get like another leg up here, and then we can maybe look to take something off this level where prices have been turning down. But right now, this has made 1, 2 micro tries higher. So just wait and see. All right, everybody. Finally got what I felt like was a good setup here. Price action has been, at times, it's been pretty decent as far as, getting clear direction on, strings of bars together. In this last series here, we had this leg up, and I was looking for something here. I think that was the last update I did, and nothing happened. And then we went down, we pushed up, and then we pushed down again, forming. Then at this point, once we started pushing up here, I drew this channel, and then I put this top up here, and then we hit this measured move. We also poked out of the channel, and we got this lower high, uh, pretty far away from the EMA, about 4 points or so, maybe 5. So I thought probably got enough room to get a couple points there. Um, so took that trade and took 2 points there. So yeah, and again, just this is just demonstrating why we need room to that EMA, because you can see even prices didn't even make it to it, and it's starting to push up off. So you know, depending on what point amount you're going for, you probably want to have like twice as much room as the target you're going for, just in case. So anyway, got that, and we'll just keep watching it from here. Not really sure what's going to happen. We may end up reversing down. This is kind of an odd structure that we have here. Usually you don't see prices just zipping around, continue to move up in sharp legs. And so we might be heading down here. Um, but if it holds and we keep going up, then we'll follow it that way. So that's it for now.
All right, so we just had this crazy rally seemingly out of nowhere. I don't know if some bit of geopolitical news came out or something, but you can see how much this is 3 o'clock here. It's only 3:13. You can see how much price action we've had in the last 13 minutes compared to, you know, afternoon. So, I mean, I had this leg up and then second leg, in a bigger picture, maybe this is the entire leg up. And here's your little correction, new high. And so, lower high, kind of a range here. So, this sort of stuff starts happening. I would not mess and guess around with these bars. You're dealing with 10-point bars stuff. So unless you get some sort of very clear structure, um, I would not mess with. It might be best just to wait until the next day to trade. And maybe this will calm down in a little bit, and it won't be so volatile like this. Um, if you get say this plays out because this is the overnight high here, and we start heading back down and get a nice trend. Well, and if the bars are mega big, cut your size down, and you can keep trading. You just go for your stops are going to be bigger, and make kind of adjust targets accordingly. So I'm just watching to see what happens here. If this ends up kind of petering out, or this is like maybe this whole thing here on a bigger picture is one leg, and this is just some sort of correction, and we're going to get, another push up. But, I don't see anything clear right now. All right, so we finally come off this, whatever this run up was, and slowly start chopping lower, and then we get a dump down. Looking for a couple of legs here. You can see it there, but it's very choppy. Closes very poorly. So you can't really rely on that's what that is, but you can see it after the fact. Push down, new low. Um, we may be heading down here some more. We'll see. But this kind of move down is a little played out. It's really kind of odd looking. So, I'm not really sure. Just got to watch and see what happens. I'm not really sure what I think is going to happen. I don't really have any idea. I mean, anything. This could start running up here again, or maybe this was some sort of news induced thing, and so over the course of the rest of the trading session, you know, the market may just try to take it back. We'll just have to wait and see. But being that it's 20 till 4 now, I'll probably just come back with the post market wrap up. Okay, everybody. It's about 5 till the close of the market. I'm just gonna wrap it up here. We're just chopping around, and I'm not gonna sit around 5 more minutes, and I'm not taking any more trades, and it's highly unlikely anything's gonna develop here that you would want to take something off of. So that's been it for today. We got a lot of price action today, and you know, had some. We can see how the um, moves up and the moves down were playing out, and it was decent to follow today. Um, this one here was a aggressive one if because there is a clear two legs back. I really don't like how low that closes. Plus, I would also look at this as a downtrend, even though this is weird here, this sideways move. I look at that as move down, break, new low. So that's aggressive, but you might have taken that one. And then I like this higher low with room to the EMA here. But other than that, got really weird in the afternoon. I don't know what this was all about, but yep, I'll be back again to do tomorrow's video.